Wondering what musicals to see as the fall season gets into gear? Our opinionated and discerning panel of experts weigh in on their choices. Hello, I'm Patrick Pacheco. Welcome to Theater, All the Moving Parts. The new season of theater is upon us, on Broadway and off. And to help us wade through it all, our experts, Ruthie Fierberg, executive editor of Broadway News, Adam Feldman, chief theater critic of Time Out New York, and Jan Simpson, theater journalist and host of Broadway Radio's All the Drama. Welcome, Jan, Adam, and Ruthie, to this episode of Broadway and Off-Broadway Speed Dating. There's a lot to get into. We're going to start with the musicals, of course. And the musical season got off to a rollicking start with the revival of Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, now I really know. My, I should not have let you go.
It is good timing, isn't it, Jan? I mean, it came in the aftermath of 9/11. It opened in October of 2001. And now again, people just want to have a really good time. It's doing great business.
It really is. And it is fun.
Yeah, it delivers exactly what you expect from Mamma Mia, what you want from Mamma Mia, which is kind of, karaoke done by other people that you get to watch.
Who sing better
really
than,
well,
than at a
right.
karaoke bar.
Exactly. It's the best form of that, vicarious karaoke. So people have fun at it, and they go out happy.
And we'll see how much fun we're going to have at Queen of Versailles.
Action.
I'm Jackie Siegel. I'm building the largest private home in America.
Which is a major musical, obviously. Kristin Chenoweth starring as Jacqueline Siegel. I think it's a satire, of course, about American excess. Who knew?
Well, it's a satirical documentary, which is a tricky combination because it's based on this documentary from 2012, I want to say.
Yes.
And it's about this family living in extreme wealth, building an enormous estate, and then things kind of fall out from under them.
Well, and they were building they called it the American Versailles. She was modeling this house in Florida off of the actual Versailles in Paris with, multiple wings and the gardens and all of these things. And
oh my God.
No, that's not my room. That's my closet.
No way.
The director, Michael Arden, on his after his Tony win for Maybe Happy Ending, is directing. It's a Stephen Schwartz season in a way.
Yeah.
We also have The Baker's Wife, which we'll get to, and the second part of Wicked as well.
Well, I think that's why people are excited about this. This is the first Stephen Schwartz original musical since Wicked. So people want to see what's he going to do. I want to see what Michael Arden is going to do because I think he has one of the smartest minds right now in terms of putting together a musical.
Absolutely
so
agree.
I want to see what he's going to do. That's what has me excited about.
And of course, the musical stars Kristin Chenoweth, who famously originated one of the lead roles in Wicked. And Kristin is one of the great Broadway stars of our time. She's distinctive, she's interesting. This seems like a really good part for her. So fingers crossed on that. And she's co-starring with a very fine stage and screen actor, Murray Abraham.
But I'll also say I have my calendar marked for the couple of standby dates that Sherry Renee Scott is also going to go on in the role of Jackie Siegel, because I think that's going to be an entirely different take, and I want to see both.
Very good point. There's a two-hander rom-com called Two Strangers Carrying a Cake Across New York.
I'm ready to be in New York, yes, I'm ready. Are you ready for me? Are you ready for me? Are you ready for me in New York?
The cake in question is a wedding cake, I believe. It's about a Brit, a naive young Brit, who comes to his estranged father's wedding and is set up with this cynical New Yorker. It's starring Sam.
She's the sister of the bride. He's the son of the groom, is what I understand.
Right.
And
she has to shepherd him around town.
yeah, I think I don't know if you ever read the book, The Sun is Also a Star. They made it into a movie as well, but it's giving me that kind of essence of like two people who weren't supposed to be together, wandering around New York, and the intimacy of the task and the anonymity that the city gives them, and the condensed timetable create the circumstances for them to, you know, odd couple find the commonalities and fall in love.
Where it did very well. It was well reviewed in London and also at ART.
And his name is Sam Tutty, and he won an Olivier when he originated the role of Evan Hansen in their production of Dear Evan Hansen. So he is well regarded over there. He's new to our shores. But Christiana Pitts is a survivor of the Broadway production of King Kong. So she played the Fay Wray character in that. So it'll be nice to see her, you know, in a more grounded part.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, New York is bound to be a third character in the play.
And I'll also say it's the directorial debut, at least Broadway, of Tim Jackson, who is directing and choreographing this, but he choreographed the Merrily revival, which I thought the movement in that was understated and brilliant. Like, it should not be ignored.
Speaking of revivals, we've got the revival of Ragtime.
The people call it ragtime.
And I think you probably all saw it at Encores. Jan, what did you think? And what do you think of the fact that it's transferring?
Well, this is the inaugural production of the director, Lear de Bessedet, who is taking over as artistic director at Lincoln Center Theater. And she is moving the production she did at Encores over to Lincoln Center, although I understand it's going to be larger. I think it's really well cast, and I think Joshua Henry, and this is absolutely no shade to Brian Stokes Mitchell, worship at the altar of Brian Stokes Mitchell, but Joshua Henry is a perfect Coalhouse Walker, who is the black musician who is put under great stress in this show. As everyone,
He'll be playing that opposite Michelle Lewis, who we just saw in The Wiz.
Our sons will rise on the wings of our dreams.
and everyone knows this is the story based on the Ed Doctorow, E.L. Doctorow novel about three separate families at the turn of the last century, one black, one Jewish immigrant, and one upper-class WASP family, and how they interact with one another in historical figures at the time, all in pursuit of the American dream.
What cast member jumps out at you?
Brandon Uranowitz.
And what about you, Adam? What cast member jumps out at you?
Well, you know, I like them all. In addition to the ones that we've said, I think that Shaina Taub is who's playing Emma Goldman is good casting as that, and Ben Levi Ross, who's playing the younger brother in the Wasp family, who becomes radicalized, is perfect casting, I think, for that as well.
And Casey Levy.
Casey Levy, I will say, it is a massive production, but I don't know that anyone will get close to the original nowadays. Like, the original had 49 on-stage cast members. That doesn't even count swings and understudies. And so it will be a wall of sound, certainly, at Lincoln Center.
Perhaps a more intimate revival will be Beetlejuice. More intimate.
A small chamber musical called Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
It's showtime!
It's back for the third time, actually. There was the original production, another revival a couple of years later, and now this revival as well. It's been doing extremely well on the road.
Well, yeah, so this, like Mamma Mia, this is a touring production that is just dropping in for the fall. There are empty theaters, so why not? And Beetlejuice was one of those things that you know, it struggled a little bit when it opened, and then it got an audience, and then someone else swooped in and stole the theater. So it came back in a different theater, but at the wrong time. So it has a fan base, and it'll be interesting to see if they show up for this.
I will say, don't sleep on the Beetlejuice score. Like, Eddie Perfect's score is full of some bangers. Dead Mom, I'm here for it. Everything happens for a reason, I'm here for it. And you know, we get plenty of adaptations from movie studios. Not all of them work, and there is something in the, you know, macabre humor and the raunchy humor of this all that is definitely making people have a good time at the theater.
And it's in time for Halloween.
There you go.
Wow.
It's a holiday show.
Again, good timing like Mamma Mia. A highly anticipated revival is Chess, the long, boring Chess. It has been around since the late 80s. What do you think? Is it finally going to be fixed, I guess, is the question.
Despite all of that time and all of those productions, I've never seen it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the fuss is all about.
You have those 3 sexy leads. I mean, kudos to the marketing campaign of that, because you just see those posters, you're like, yes, I would like to see those people in front of my eyes. Nicholas Christopher, Aaron Tveit, and Lea Michele. But I do think, I was reading a piece, I want to say it was in Vanity Fair, but I don't remember exactly, where they were talking about the fact that it's not actually just trying to fix the Act 1 and Act 2 that came before in many iterations, that they kind of, as from scratch as you can be with the fact that there are the same characters, but they're not holding to, oh, the plot point from version 1 worked really well and this plot point from version 2 worked really well. How do we bridge them? It is, what is the new story we're telling, which I think is, which I think is
Adam,
interesting.
I did see Chess.
Okay,
I saw the original Chess on Broadway when I was a wee lad.
Tell us the story.
wee lad. It's a Cold War story where the Cold War is being fought over a chessboard, basically. There are international chess competitions with an American champion and a Russian champion, and there's this woman who is caught between the two of them in different versions. It works in slightly different ways. I think, you know, it's a tricky show. People always want it to work on stage because they hear the score and it's a lot of fun. And the score actually, if I'm not mistaken, is the last time that a song that was written for a Broadway score hit the top of the charts in America.
Even I know.
One Night in Bangkok, Murray Head's One Night in Bangkok from the concept album.
One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. The bars are temples, but the pearls ain't free.
It was a top 5 hit in America. I don't think that's happened anytime since. So it does have that pop element. What I'll say about this, I like Lea Michele and Aaron Tveit a lot. The one I'm really looking forward to seeing in this is Nick Christopher. He is an extraordinary performer who has, you know, been just below the radar in his career, doing amazing things.
Surprisingly, that's it for Broadway, so far at least, for the fall season. But Off-Broadway is packed full of musical offerings and major stars and major directors.
But still mostly revivals. It's a very revival-heavy season for Broadway.
I guess it's the idea, and perhaps a lot of it is fixing musicals that have never worked or haven't the first time out had a run, and so I think we'll get to that. What has already opened and which I saw recently was Saturday Church, which is thrilling, exciting, has a score by, correct me if I'm wrong, Sia?
Sia.
Because I am...
Swing from that chandelier, Patrick.
I am terminally unhip, so I had never heard of her, but I loved the score.
You would recognize some of her big songs. They're everywhere.
Loved the music. I loved the show.
Just do nothing today. Give yourself a break. Let your mind run away.
I was very, very moved that there is a black Jesus, a black sort of trans Jesus in knee-high kinky boots, but who is preaching a message of love to this young gay man, black man, who is confused about it all, but finds a home in the Harlem house culture.
I agree with you about the score. It's got a lot of bangers, and there's either 3 or 4 numbers that sound so much like they have such a recognizable Sia sound. Again, a sound that you would recognize even if you don't know that you would. You would recognize it if you heard it in the wild. And that's really exciting. And of course, it's got an extraordinary cast, not just J. Harrison G. and Joaquina Calacango, who both have recently won Tony Awards, but also Crystalline Lloyd, who's great and who's going to be on Broadway later this year in Liberation. But also this extraordinarily talented lead actor named Bryson Battle, who has one of those angel voices that you just want to listen to all day.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because he really is terrific. He's a new star, I think, in my book. Romy and Michele, the musical. It has been around for 25 years. Again, they're still trying to make it work in some way. Have anybody seen an incarnation of it?
No, but I mean, you tell me Laura Bell Bundy and Cara Lindsay are going to be on stage together in those roles, and I say, sign me up. Like, people actually don't really know necessarily about Cara Lindsay's comedy chops, but if you go back and watch some slime tutorials of her as Glinda, she is funny. And she has like that great ditziness about her, which is obviously very perfect for this. And her with Laura Bell, who we all know a little bit more as a musical comedian, and I mean, both of them have terrific voices. They're the selling point to me.
I'm open-minded to this, but I'm cautious about it because it's been bumping around for a while. And the last time one of my favorite movies of this ilk was adapted for the stage by its original writer was Clueless, and I didn't think that one worked.
Are you equally cautious about Bat Boy? It will be directed by Alex Timbers. Of course, we saw this off-Broadway many decades ago, if I'm remembering correctly. It's now going to be at New York City Center. It is a cult musical, and it's been a favorite. Has anybody seen it prior to this?
I saw it off-Broadway 25 years ago almost now. I love the show. Again, it's one of those, not quite encores, but it's one of the City Center Gala runs that they do in the fall. And because it's a limited time, they can really get just crazy casts, which they have done. Taylor Trench is perfect casting, it seems to me, as Bat Boy. It's based on the sort of Weekly World News tabloid sensationalist made-up stories of aliens. So he plays this creature who is adopted by this family. Carrie Butler, who was in the original production, is now returning, but in a different role. Andrew Durand is in it, and just so many people who are so
Marissa
good.
Jarrett Winokur? Come
Yeah.
on.
No, I mean,
like, that's
Chris
so
Sieber,
exciting. Alex Newell.
Rima Webb is just one of the best singers on Broadway.
Alex Newell,
Alex Newell, of course.
Sieber.
I mean,
Yeah.
and like Mary Farber, everyone in this show is someone that I enjoy seeing, and I'm excited to play with this material.
Beau the Musical. It had an earlier run in the summer. Did you see it, Jan?
I did.
Tell us about it. What did you think?
I liked it a lot. It's a small show. It's about a young boy and his relationship to his grandfather. I don't want to say too much.
Whom he thought was dead.
Yes, and who
discovers that-
had been estranged from Beau. Beau is actually the grandfather.
And it's played by Jeb Brown.
Jeb Brown from Dead Outlaw. It's interesting because it's sort of a John Doyle kind of thing where the actors play both characters and all the instruments in the show. It's presented really as a memory play in concert format. And the music's really good. It's sort of Americana, country rock music. The story is very touching, and I'm glad to see it make the transition. I'm also glad because it was produced by this small company called Out of the Box. And, let me be quite open. I know the artistic director there. And they're growing, and this is a wonderful way for
It's a coming-of-age tale, similar to Saturday Church, actually, a young man under pressure who's coming out and has some lessons to learn.
Can
from
I
an older
add, because
generation.
I've known about Beau for a really long time. Douglas Lyons and Ethan Pakchar are the writers, and Matt Rodin plays Ace, who is the grandson to Beau, the grandfather. I absolutely agree with you on the sound of the score, but I also think there's like an interesting pop arc to it. And I think that's why it can appeal to so many different ears. But that score on Matt Rodin's voice, like, really can't be understated. He is a star. He must be living his best monk life to be able to sing all of those songs as like clear and beautifully as he does. And I found it incredibly moving as well. Like, a different take on a coming of age, coming out story, which everybody thinks we've seen them all. And I guess for me, at least, I hadn't seen this take on it.
But while we're on the subject of musicals that are coming back, I just want to put in a brief plug for Heather Christian's oratorio for Living Things, which is unbelievably beautiful.
Is there a narrative to it?
No.
There's not a narrative to it.
No.
It's,
It is a kind of religious service to the cosmos. You get a little Psalter if you want. You can follow along because some of it's in Latin and some of it. I can't explain it without making it sound weird. It is gorgeous and special, and everyone should see it.
highly recommended.
Yes.
All right,
5 star.
great. Thanks for bringing that up. The Baker's Wife. Here we go with Stephen Schwartz again. Here we go with a long, aborting musical that never worked in the first place, and trying to get it right again. Will they get it right? The book is by Joseph Stein, and the director is Gordon Greenberg. The star here is Ariana DeBose, and also Scott Bakula.
Bakula.
Do you think they'll get it right? Has anybody ever seen a production?
I have seen a production. They did a production at the York a few years ago, or a reading of it, with Renee Elyse Goldsberry as the baker's wife. At the time, Joseph Stein was still alive, and they were still working on tinkering with the show. It didn't quite work then, at least not for me. I know that Gordon Greenberg, the director, has been working on this for some time. And this cast, not just Ariana, but Scott Bakula is, he's best known for Quantum Leap, but he started as a musical theater star. He was nominated for a Tony in 1988 for Romance with Alison Fraser. Based on a French film.
It is about a young woman.
It's about a young woman married to an older baker. She runs off with a younger man. He's miserable. The town no longer has their baker. They all band together to try to fix the situation. It's a charming story. It's a small story. It's hard to figure out what the tone is sometimes. But this cast is spectacular. Ariana DeBose and Scott Bakula, but not just that. Judy Kuhn is in it. Kevin Delaguilla, who was just in Some Like It Hot, and so funny. Just all around a terrific.
Nathan Lee Graham.
Nathan Lee Graham.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Judy Kuhn and Kevin Delaguilla, who was just in Some Like It Hot, and Nathan Lee Graham, and just an amazing supporting cast for this.
And everybody will be waiting to hear Meadowlark,
That's
which of course
the
has
one.
been sung since Patti LaRue poem.
My beautiful young man.
A musical that I know nothing about, but which totally intrigues me, is a musical called 44, the musical, which is about Barack Obama.
And his name is Obama, Barack Obama.
And it promises to show Barack Obama in a way that we've never seen him before, which is sort of hard to do since we know so much about him. Anybody want to gander what the anticipation might be for this, apart from subject matter?
Makes me nervous.
What'd you say?
Makes me nervous.
Why does it make you nervous?
I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be spoofy or it's
I think
going
it's
to
well,
be...
so Eli Bauman's the writer, so I would definitely think it's spoofy, satirical, just knowing his sensibility, and especially the like you've never seen him before would seem to suggest that kind of tone as well.
I'm so glad that it's not about 45 or 47 and that it is about 44. We had enough of 45 and 47.
Let's just skip to 50, see what happens.
Another
I'm not
revival
sure I want to know.
Adam was talking about revivals off-Broadway, and another revival off-Broadway is the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Very, very good. I'm impressed. The director is Danny Mefford.
Yes.
And what do you think? What are its chances of actually having a nice commercial run?
I think they're great with that cast. I think you have enough recognizability for people to fill those seats early that will hopefully then create the buzz of just how solid the chemistry of the cast is. The material, I think, it speaks for itself. It's so charming. I grew up watching the Scripps National Spelling Bee and falling in love with all of these different quirky personalities of these kids that, you know, that spend their days with dictionaries, but then also, you know, whatever their other side hobby is of, like, I don't know, collecting spoons or something random, you know? So the characters are amazing. You fall in love with them.
What among the new crop of young people, what name jumps out at you?
Well,
Jasmine Amy Rogers.
There you go.
From
Absolutely.
Boop. From Boop.
Yep.
Although Justin Cooley is also in there.
from Kimberly Akimbo.
Yeah.
But it's Jasmine that people want to see because she had such a sensational debut in Boop. And it didn't run, and she didn't win the Tony. But I don't think I'm alone in wanting to see her here in a very different kind of role.
It's something
Yes.
we can all agree on, for sure. Rounding out our episode of Speed Dating is a musical that I'm really curious about, The Seat of Our Pants. Speaking about shows that were tried and tried and tried, John Cantor and Fred Ebb tried to do a musical version of Thornton Wilder's The Skin of Our Teeth.
Totally, we should say not Cantor Neb. This is a totally different project.
No, it is actually,
Ethan Lipton.
thank you.
And he won the Ed Kleban Award about 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, he's been a regular at Joe's
Yeah.
Puppets, but he writes a lot of different ways, but recently he's been writing in this very small mode where he's doing this sort of cabaret musical, storytelling musicals. It's often on kind of wild, large themes like space travel and artificial intelligence, but rendered in a very small form. So it'll be interesting to see him stretch again into a larger a larger scope. Because this show, I mean, again, Skin of Our Teeth is one of the most wide-ranging shows ever written. It spans historical eras.
Millennia.
It's a strange concept where it's like this same American family that exists throughout time. Again, a really good cast.
Absolutely.
I mean, Shuler Hemsley, who is so great, Ruthie Ann Miles.
Ruthie Ann Miles.
And Michaela Diamond.
Damon Dono is
And Damon Dono.
so underappreciated but when he's in New York, we have to see him, guys.
And
lot to look forward to
directed
there.
by Lee
Lee Silverman.
Silverman.
Thank you,
who
Jan.
is also a really smart director when it comes to these kind of big show. What most impressed me about her work on Softs is that she kept at it until she got it right.
And Yellowface as well, another really difficult play.
So
that
she's really good at.
She's great at directing traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, she did Soft Power at the Public too, which talk
Yeah.
about like
Yes.
something that was really complicated in a new form, and,
So
and
she's
she
really-
and Ethan have a long-standing relationship that should serve.
And Ethan's going to be an interesting match with this because he has a very quirky sensibility as a composer.
Well, we're living in a time by the seat of our pants, and we certainly by the skin of our teeth as well. So that does it for this section of musicals. Next will be plays, but for now, I thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Always a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us. Make sure to tune in to part 2 of our conversation. It's all about the plays. We look forward to bringing you more fascinating conversations with the creative talents who live and work only to astonish us. Be sure to download the CUNY TV app to watch all of our exciting and provocative shows, also available on YouTube.